Chit. You already know, it's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Your boy's back and I done did it again one more time. What's really good? Let me know if you hear you live with me. I had a little technical difficulties. Hopefully you guys can see me right now. Let me know if we live. Yeah, I see myself now on YouTube. Let's go. Okay, cool. We live. Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Right, I really appreciate it that you guys are here with me. Today, I just want to come in, hang out with you guys, answer some questions, look at some of the things that you guys might have, right? What you guys is working on, right? I'm also gonna bring up some topics, and yeah, man, and we're probably gonna also look at what the job market is looking like today. Okay, what type of jobs is out there? Who posted? Who didn't post? What's going on? Who hiring? Who not hiring? We need a bag. Okay, so yeah, man, shout out to everybody in here. I see my boy Angel Medina. Yes, we here, Angel. Yes, sir. Let me see who else is in here. We got Luis. We got Ricky B. Who else is in here? My boy Fred. OG Triple OG. DJ Super. Yes, sir. And you already know. It's CodingPhase. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Had a little technical difficulties earlier, so I had to post in the chat. I was like, yo, hold on, guys. Let me set this up. Shout out to Deborah. How's everything, Deborah? What's going on? Shout out to Jamaica. Shout out to my peoples in Jamaica. You don't know. My youth. Yeah. What's going on, Neil? What's popping? Rainier, what's going on? I'm driving, but I'm listening. That's what I like to hear, man. People working, people moving around. You know what I'm saying? And still focus and coming back in here whenever they can. I appreciate it. So, yeah, man. Again, if you guys have any questions, any topic, put it in the chat. I'm looking at the chat the whole time so I can go in and answer it. Whatever question you might have or whatever topic you might have. Okay. I do want to bring up some topics, right? So, again, let me start with this one, right? I don't know if you guys have been looking into what's going on with Facebook, right? So Facebook has the Meta Quest 3, right? And I'm going to put this on the screen so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have the Meta Quest 3, right? And we also have Meta Horizon, okay? If you guys haven't heard about this, right? It's a huge announcement that they did this week, which is going to be great because it basically opens up the ecosystem of Meta for other platforms and other, partners to come in and start using the Meta Horizon OS. Okay. If you guys haven't checked this out, also too, there's already a Meta Quest 4 reveal. VR will never be the same. There's already a lot of hype behind this. Okay, but what does this mean for us as developers, right? This is another opportunity, right? For those of you guys that are studying C#, that's studying, even just XR development, learning how to do things like 3JS and things like that, right? What this means is that more companies are going to be able to use Meta's software, which is the one that is being used on the Meta Quest 3. So not only is Meta going to be creating headsets and devices using this specific OS system, but they're also going to allow other third-party companies to come in and create their own things. So think about it like this. It's like Android, right? So Android, which is built by Google, is also used by Samsung, LG, etc. Every single company that's out there that does an Android phone, right? But now this is going to allow other companies to come in and use Meta's OS system, which is based on Android too. But again, it's a whole ecosystem that they have there. And I'm super excited for this, right? This just means that there's going to be more devices, more things that we can go in and develop applications for and experiences for. And again, there could be a device that's, $50, $100, which allows more people to be able to be in this ecosystem of XR, right? And for us as developers, we can now have a bigger audience. Same thing for the difference between a device that could be $50. There's also going to be some premium devices, some devices that are going to be made for work. There's some devices that are going to be made for strictly for gaming. I also believe that they're creating a partnership with Xbox, which is Microsoft, right? So again, they're bringing all of these things into this ecosystem, and it's helping the ecosystem become bigger and make it more accessible to everyone, which is a good thing. Okay. The way how I look at all of this operating systems and whenever you see like a new company like Wix, who's coming out with Wix Studio, which allows developers to create applications within their app store and sell their services or sell their apps through there, it just means more opportunities for us as developers. Okay, more ways for us to make a living independently. Okay, yes, you can work for a company full time, but to be honest with you, the real money is not working for someone, right? There's always going to be a cap for you to make money, as far as how much can you make. Hey, your salary is a base salary of $120,000. That's as much as you're going to make. Maybe some little stock options, some little equity if you're working at a startup, but that's about it. That's like hoping to see if maybe their stocks go up. To be honest with you, what you really care about is your base salary, right? But when you see announcements like this is big, right? This means that there's more places for us to make money independently. Like, we don't need to work for somebody, right? And again, you can work for somebody, but it's always nice to have an extra $50,000 or extra $100,000 on the side that you're making and you're bringing in. So again, I'm super excited for this. This is a really good news for all of us that's investing into XR. And I'm gonna continue talking about XR development in here, because I'm telling you guys right now, this is the future. As web developers, as you can see, yes, we can build websites, we could build sites that are mobile, we can even make mobile applications using React Native and Flutter, but this is like a 2D space, okay? This is a 2D space, okay? This is just a flat screen and that's it. But the real future is in a 3D environment, okay? That's just how it is. There's no way around it, okay? Again, so for us, we need to pay attention to this type of announcements and see into the future and invest into ourselves for the near future. Because by the time that everybody jumps on this, it's too late. It's like React, right? Guys like myself, my boy Tech Rally, right? And a couple of other guys, right? Most of the guys that have been doing this for a long time, we know that when React came around in, 2014, 2015, when it started to get more popular, whoever knew about React basically got a job like this, right? Just like that quickly, you get a job, right? Also too, because there wasn't that many people who knew that skill or even knew about it, you already had a huge leg up above everyone else in the game. And this is why it's so important for you guys to pay attention to the XR space, because you want to be one of those guys that know what's going on and have knowledge on it. Because when the opportunities start popping up, the ones that actually know about it, they're going to be getting first dibs. You get what I'm saying? Everybody else, by the time you start seeing advertisement on YouTube and seeing freaking random boot camps, hey guys, y'all remember me as Lil Billy from Lambda. Now we're teaching XR development. By the time you see that shit, it's too late. It's too late. Everybody and their mother is already on it. By the time you start seeing what's the name of this guy? One of these YouTubers, right? Once you start seeing Dev Ed talking about XR development, it's too late. But it's like commercial. It's like, imagine, it's like music. Think of it like this. right? When you listen to an artist that no one knows and you're one of the first one, you're one of the first fans that know about it, right? By the time you start seeing it on billboards and start seeing it on the top 100, that shit is over. The music's already commercialized, etc. Same thing for certain skills. Once you start seeing it for the guys that's already talking about it, what I consider, like I guess the promotional dudes, right? Once you start seeing those guys talking about it, it's too late. Everybody and their mother is doing it, right? And that means there's more competition and less opportunities. So you definitely got to go in and pay attention to XR development now while it's still fresh. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Let me see. Reading through here. Manny Hands, what's going on? El Nilushi says, is DR really lit? Yes, DR is always lit. Deborah says, Jamaica's hot right now. Shout out to my people in Jamaica. You don't know. You know what I mean? Yo, let me be in Jamaica for a year. I come back, yo, they be like, where he from? He's from Spanish Town. You know what I mean? He's from Spanish Town. He from Kingston. You know what I'm saying? I come back with a crazy accent. I'm like, yo, that dude, he's a local. How long he's been here? I'm in there talking pure Jamaican. Yeah, I can't wait. I need to go to Jamaica. I don't know. Yeah, I know I'm super hyped when it comes to Jamaica, man. That's my spot, man. Let me see. Antoine Cole says, I'm catching a live on time. Thought it was late. Yes, it's a little bit late. I wanted to do it like I usually do it, which is at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I think that's the best time to do live streams. People are on their lunch breaks. People are, if it's like West Coast, it's still early enough where they just came into work. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a little extra time. So 12 p.m. Eastern time is the best time for me to go live. Okay. But technical difficulties. There's always something, right? There's always something trying to stop us. Let me see. Reading through here. Eric Williams says, on live streams, I will pay $10 a month for it. Hey, man, don't worry. On YouTube, we free, right? Let me see. Matthew Smith, I'm looking into 3D now. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities right now, man. You got to pay attention to all of them, right? Pay attention to all of them and then choose wisely what you invest your time. Because it's like right now, I know about almost everything that's happening on the web when it comes to web development, right? Anything connected to web development, I pay attention to it, but I don't invest time into it unless I know it's something that, one, I could be passionate about, and two, that there's money behind it. Because there's a lot of cool projects that come out, and guess what? You can't make a dime with that, right? So if I'm gonna invest my time, and which time is money, time is your life, right? I'm gonna invest into something that's gonna pay me in the long term. For example, like XR development. One of the reason that I'm jumping on that is because guess what? Like this is not going away, right? This is a good skill to have. And if you are one of the first ones in this space, you're basically going to make a lot of money in the next few years, okay? How do you handle user information? Do you use Octane? I don't use any of those services, to be honest with you. Let me see. Reading through here. And New Evolution says, I'll sign the CodingPhase 360 deal. Yeah, you guys are hilarious, man. Let me see. FB Highlight says, awesome channel, dude. How do you think C#.NET's tech stack will last in the future? I've heard it's dying stack and it will only be around for 10, 20 more years. What do you think? Bro, first of all, most of us are not going to be coding in 10 to 20 years. That's just the facts, right? Most of us grow out of this, right? Most people that are developers, like they don't stay for 20, 30 years coding, right? Very few people actually do that. So when you think about this and you say, well, is something going to be here for in 20 years from now? Who knows? And at this point, who cares? Because you might not be even here by that point. You get what I'm saying? You might not even be interested in this anymore. That's just the facts, right? Most developers come in, do a 10 to 15 years bid, and then they start doing other things because they make enough money to go in and start doing things that they're passionate about. Now, you could be passionate about coding, but you can also decide, hey, I want to do something else by that time. So for me, the way I look at it is I have a 5-year reach, right? I look at things in a 5-year reach. Is this thing going to be popular in 5 years? Is this thing going to be making money in 5 years? And if I'm building something, will I be able to make money with this in the long term in 5 years? That's it. That's my max. 5 years. Anything beyond that, one, is irrelevant. Two, is too far into the future. Things change. And at the end of the day, you can't focus on what's going to happen 10 years plus. Okay? That's just how it is. Okay? So, again, is C# going to go away? I don't think so, because Microsoft is too invested into this. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Microsoft has been buying pretty much every tool and service that's out there that has to do with developers. So it's like a monopoly. If one of the languages that was going to be around for a long time, and someone tell me, hey, which one's going to be, is most likely going to be C#. Why? Because Microsoft is behind it. Microsoft is not going nowhere. They have enough money that they're going to go in and push whatever the hell they want to push. They've been pushing C# .NET for 20 years already. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going anywhere. There's enough companies using that they're not going to switch. Okay? So that's not going nowhere. What's going to happen is that more software is going to be built with it. More platforms is going to open up that's going to be using C# and .NET. Okay, that's just how it is, right? If you know about Unity uses C#, right? There's a whole bunch of other tools for web development that also use C#. If you want to build any application for Windows, most likely you're going to be using C#. So yeah, that's not going anywhere. Trust me. Okay. So I don't know where you heard from anyone that says C# is dead. Y'all need to get out of that Node.js JavaScript bubble. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm being honest. Like, don't go into that world. That's like the hipster world. That's like a bunch of dudes in a corner that is like, yes, man. It's like, yeah, JavaScript. It's all gonna be JavaScript. Bro, JavaScript is cool, but there's things that go beyond JavaScript, right? That's gonna be here no matter what, right? So you gotta expand your mind and expand your circle. And again, I want people to understand, I love JavaScript. I use JavaScript all the time. But as I get older, I get more wiser and I learn more about the industry. I realize that, there's like groups, right, of developers that they choose teams, right? And most people that's here don't even know why they like JavaScript. Most of you guys like JavaScript because that's the first language that you learn, right? So that's one thing. Number two, one of the reasons that you guys love JavaScript so much and only do JavaScript is because that's what people are teaching you. Not because it's something that that is like, man, I'm learning something that is gonna help me get a job. No, this is what you're fucking learning because people is teaching you that. Most of you guys, y'all watching YouTube, y'all watch things on social media, right? And you have to understand this. There's so many people that use other languages that they're not the influencers. They're not the guys that is going to take their time to create a YouTube channel. They're not the ones that's going to be on TikTok. They're not going to be doing a day in the life. Those are the fucking real developers that's grinding, that's building shit. They're not promoting whatever it is that they use at their job or for their companies. So what you see here on social media is like the highlights of the influencers. You get what I'm saying? Not that it's the best thing, either for new developers or for companies to use. Also, too, programming languages are just a tool, right? It's like right now, you gotta, let's say, for example, you have to, I don't know, set a floor, right? set a wooden floor, set I don't know, a vinyl, and you're trying to break the vinyl into a precisioned corner, right? But you're using a fucking screwdriver. Why the hell will you do that, right? You will use a saw or an electric saw for that, right? Every freaking language is like, it's like a tool, and you use the right tool for the right position and for the right job. You get what I'm saying? So again, some of you guys, you have to understand how this shit works. As you become older and you learn more about the industry, you understand that all of this shit is irrelevant. All of the languages are irrelevant, and even like choosing the best language, that's stupid. What you need to care about is learning concepts and choosing the right tool for the right job. That's what makes you a good developer. Okay. Let me see. How can you find a good tech recruiter? And let me see. Hold on, I can read it. How can you find a good tech recruiter to help you find and starting out, finding a job starting? First of all, it's not about finding a good recruiter. Recruiters are supposed to find you. Okay? So you want to have the right portfolio. You want to have the right projects. You want to have the right branding around yourself, that you are a developer, that this is what you do, that when they search your name, this is what you do. Okay? So for example, you could be a guy that does open source, right? You're really, contributing to some major projects. Guess what? A recruiter will get to you. Okay. If you are someone who is talking about, let's say, for example, WordPress or Shopify, and you have a channel talking about how you can actually help a business grow as a Shopify developer, e-commerce developer, etc., guess what? A recruiter will find you, right? It's like myself. I talk about Shopify. I talk about front-end development, web development, email development. I get a bunch of people that hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm not applying to jobs. I'm not doing nothing. Okay. I don't even post on LinkedIn, right? I don't even have my full work history on LinkedIn. I just have it there just because I want to chat with like all freaking college colleagues and people that's from YouTube. But people still reach out to me telling me, hey, we got an offer for you at this company, $300,000 via DevRel. Hey, we need you to be a senior developer for this company. We're willing to offer you, 180 starting salary, etc. So opportunities keep on coming to you once you put in the work, okay? And you let people know that you are an authority in this field, all right? Recruiters are gonna come to you. Now, you can put yourself in the right position while you're still building your brand as a developer online by going to websites like Robert Half, right? So you search Robert Half, and I'll show you guys right now, which are staffing agencies. So if you look over here, Robert Half, this is roberthalf.com, okay? And in here, you can actually sign up, upload your resume, and what that does is it puts you on their database. So when a job opportunity comes up, they're gonna look at the candidates that are in their database, and then from there, those recruiters will get to you. So again, you don't have to go in and be like, well, how do I get to reach out to recruiters? How do I find the right recruiter? In reality, it's like the best way is to put in the work, and they will get to you. Okay. Now you can go in and put yourself in their database by using, services like this one, Robert Half. You can search Robert Half alternatives, right? And then from there, you will find a whole bunch of different companies. See Bamboo HR, sites that be popping up, right? You can see here, excuse me, HireWell, Secure Vision, Candidate Labs, Super Sourcing, Bet Recruiting, Sales Talent, right? Victory Lab, Blueprint Expansion, right? And this is just like an example. You could go in and search a whole bunch of other ones. You see, it's just literally by searching one specific company and then putting in alternative, and you will find all of the other competitors that they might have. So again, Price Staff, Aerotech, right? And they'll tell you here IT specific, no, right? So they go in and hire all different type of people, right? College services, K4s, tech systems, Randstad, Hay Tiling Solutions. There's a lot of companies out here that are staffing agencies. So again, that's one way that you can go in and find some recruiters that will look into your portfolio, your resume, and then if you fit a position, they will get to you. So you don't have to worry about you reaching out to recruiters. Okay, you could go on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is one of those things that's like hit and miss. You know, so many people is in there trying to network. So many people is trying to hit people up that you might not even, you know, head up a recruiter and the recruiter's like, I don't even want to talk to nobody right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's looking for a job. Everybody's looking for an opportunity. And some of these people, they already have enough people on their plate. All right, cool. Let me see. What's the next one? CodingPhase Wednesdays, yes. Okay, let me see. Been watching for your videos. Let me see. Watching a lot of your videos and live stream, brother. Realist web developer on YouTube. I wish I knew about you a year ago. Hey, don't worry about it, man. So long as you're here, that's what's important. Mauro Lara says, what's the next step as a Shopify developer? All right. So if you're already working as a Shopify developer, what is the next step for you? You will say, well, I can start selling my digital products, create some Shopify themes, right? And you can sell those. You can also go in and start getting into the world of creating Shopify applications. That way you can make some money, build a company behind it, right? Just from one application. You could be a solo developer or you could grow it as big as you want, right? So that's another opportunity. Another way that you can grow as a Shopify developer is learning other platforms, okay? So again, when you are a web developer, you have to understand that all of this stuff that we're doing is very repetitive. And if you can do it in one category, you can do it in the next category. What do I mean by that? If you can do it with Shopify, you could do it with WordPress. You could do it with BigCommerce. You could do it with Magento. You could do it with, even Wix Studio, etc. Right? So once you understand how e-commerce works and how you can build Shopify themes, you could do themes for all of those other platforms. And then it's like literally you could build a catalog. Okay. Also, too, you could sell your services to companies. You can say, well, I'm either freelancing or I'm doing consulting. So it's up to you, like at what level you want to take it. Now, if you want to get out of e-commerce and you say, well, I'm done, Joe. I put in my freaking years into e-commerce. I want to do something else. What will be the next step? Well, it will be full stack development, right? So if you are a Shopify developer, initially you're like a front-end developer that understands how to use the Shopify platform, right? Once you start making applications, you are a back-end developer. So technically you are a full stack developer at that point. So if you want to get out of the ecosystem of Shopify, next step is becoming a full stack developer. And there's a lot of industries that you can go on, right? If you don't want to do e-commerce, that's fine, right? And again, there's a lot of different languages and different frameworks that you could jump on. You could do Node.js, you could do Python, you could do Golang, you could do PHP, Laravel, etc. Right? It's up to you where you want to go. But what I always tell people like this is, once you reach a certain point as a full stack developer, the goal is not to be constantly jumping from company to company and saying, well, I'm a full stack developer here, I'm a full stack developer there, I'm a full stack developer here, full stack developer there. No, that's it. It's time for you to go in, use the skills that you have, and build a business. Okay? Build a microservice, build a software as a service, build something, build a store where you sell digital products, build a agency where you're now delegating the work to junior developers or mid-level developers, and you're the one getting the clients. You know what I'm saying? That's the transition. Sometimes people get lost in that process. People come in and say, well, I got my first job. For example, someone comes to CodingPhase.com, right? And I'll show you guys right now what I mean. You can come in and say, well, I'm going to go to CodingPhase.com, right? I'm interested in learning how to code. I want to get into the game. Cool. Where do I start? You start at here. Content editor, HTML, email developer. Both of these things here is just HTML, CSS, and knowing how to use those tools. As you go into the next stage, you become what you will say like a front-end developer / Shopify developer, right? This is where you're at right now. When you start building those applications for Shopify, you're now in the realm of full stack development. As you continue to grow, right? Once you have gone to, let's say, your second, your third year as a developer, the big mistake that a lot of people do is that they stay in just jumping from company to company, trying to get an extra $10,000, trying to get another $20,000, $30,000 increase on their salary, right? But don't understand that once you have enough knowledge of development, this is not where you want to be, right? This is not what you want to have your focus on. Your focus to grow is now learning more about business, learning more about marketing, right? And basically taking the leap of faith of just creating your own company, okay? Once you have gotten into development and you've done this for 2 to 3 years, 4 years, like, bro, what you're gonna do? What's the next step? You want to go work at Amazon, at Google, at Netflix, and get what, like $400,000 and work full time for a company, and you're making 400,000? Like, that's cute. I'm being honest. That's cute, right? That's something that you will think like, oh, it's great, but it's really just another job, because as you start making more money, things get more expensive, right? You get a bigger house, you get a bigger car, you get a family, you have this, and that. So that 200, 300,000, 400,000 that you're gonna make after you work at one of these companies for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, right? To get to that highest level, it really don't mean shit when in reality you have enough knowledge to build your own business. And instead of you going in and making, $300,000, you could really set yourself up for success and start making $1 million plus a year. This is how you go in and you retire early. Okay? I'm just giving you guys game. A lot of people come in and say, well, I want to go in and I want to get a $200,000 job at Google, or I want to work at Netflix and make, $400,000 and whatever, right? The truth is that you're still going to be in the same rat race. You're still going to always be in the same rat race. You're never going to really have enough money for you to go in and say, can I just leave this job, right? Because it's like the golden handcuffs, right? They give you a lot of good things, but they also outwork you, right? And just, have you doing mad work that in reality, you're only getting the crumbs, right? When you work for somebody, you're only getting the crumbs of whatever drops out of their mouth to you. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to do that, the smartest way is to start setting yourself up for success. Start looking for ways to grow. Invest in the stock market, invest into buying properties, right? I'll give you a great example. Shout out to John Summers, right? John Summers, if you guys don't remember John Summers, people used to hate this guy for no reason. I always liked him, right? There was things that I would be like, I don't agree with every single thing that he says, but that doesn't mean that I didn't like him. I liked the guy. His name was Simple Programmer, right? Bulldog Mindset, super popular dude here on YouTube, back in 2017, right? Hardworking guy, all right? Hardworking guy. So again, shout out to him, right? Founder, Bulldog Mindset, Simple Programmer from 1999 to 25 years later, right? He's been killing it, right? Author in Pluralsight, a whole bunch of different things, right? But one thing that he did that made him stand out from the majority of people is that he invested into other things outside of programming. He was in the world of technology, but he was someone that invested outside of this thing. Because as you start growing as a developer, right, you have a lot of opportunities to make income, but the real money is not in development, right? The real money is not in you working for somebody for the rest of your life, right? Because at any moment, things could get pulled from you. He had a situation a couple of years ago that he was just speaking up his mind, right? In the height of the woke culture, all of the shit that was happening on Twitter, where in Twitter you say anything, they'll cancel you right away. And they basically canceled John Simons. But guess what? You can't cancel somebody that set themselves up for success. Okay? While everyone talking shit on the internet and all this stuff about the guy, guess what? John Simons owns mad property. John Simons got millions of dollars. Like, he's good. Like, this is a dude that he don't have to worry about what's going on the internet. I don't know if he still do YouTube or not, but that's to me, right? To me, I think that's an example of success, right? As a developer, you come in, you learn a skill, you work for companies, and then as you go in and you learn all of the skills and you have become, let's say, a senior developer, right? Your success is measured on one, how much money you make, right? Number two, what impact have you done to the world? And if you have both of those things, right? And number three, I will say, just being independent, then you succeeded in life, right? You're already successful. And a lot of developers come in and they just stay working as much as they can for the rest of their lives, put themselves in situations where they don't really do much. Like, I remember seeing on TikTok somebody crying that they worked at Google and they're like, I've been working at Google for 14 years and I can't pay my... How the fuck you been working for 14 years at Google and you haven't set yourself up to be able to go in and say, well, how I'm going to pay my rent? You got 14 years at Google. What was you doing with your money? What was you doing with your time? Right? And this is the type of shit that a lot of people don't think about. The freaking rug can be pulled at any moment. And if you don't secure yourself, you're going to be one of these people crying when they, drop you off at the corner store. You know what I'm saying? When they say, yo, listen, you know how they do, shout out to the Mexican dudes by, freaking Home Depot, right? When they got a job for the day, someone picks them up on a truck, but once they drop you off, you don't know if you got a job tomorrow. That's the same thing for developers. Someone picks you up, oh, shoot, you got 6 months, great, cool, come to the startup. They dropped you off at the corner store. Now you got to come in and scramble to look for the next job. Come in. You got a family. You got kids. Man, I'm doing great. You're doing 5-6 years at a company. Oh shit, the CEO did some bad choices. Someone got to go. They pulled up your number. You're out of here. Now you got mortgages. You got car loans. You got a million things that you freaking put yourself in, and then you're like, man, but I thought I was gonna be good if I work hard here. Nah, shit could just get pulled under you at any moment. So as you continue to grow as a developer, what you want to do is, the ultimate goal is to become independent, right? Everyone else, that it doesn't matter. Like, when I see somebody tell me, man, I'm making $500,000 at Fang, that's cute. To me, I look at that shit is cute. When they pull the rug, I want to see how you survive. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I got houses, I got freaking properties, I got investments. I use the money that came in properly. I could disappear right now, get canceled. I'm good. You're not going to see me. I could disappear from the internet. I'm in a position that I'm good, but I set myself for success. And a lot of people don't do that. They think that they're just going to continue learning skills, and don't really nurture the other side of things, like business, like marketing, right? And other skills that is not part of development. So once you already a Shopify developer, and you're like, man, where do I go next? You need to start planting that seed of how I'm going to get out of this thing too. Okay. Let me see, reading through here. Mauro says, is creating an agency realistic? Yes, you could create an agency. The problem with creating an agency is that you got to choose which type of agency you want to create. Are you going to be selling digital products, or are you going to be creating an agency for freelancing or servicing or consulting for clients that is in e-commerce, right? So you got to think about that, like what type of agency you're going to create, okay? Also, too, comes in the hassle of like, how do I get clients, right? So there's like a lot of moving pieces to it, but you could definitely do that, right? Me personally, I don't like dealing with clients because clients at the end of the day, they have their own expectations, this and that. I'd rather just go in, create a digital product, and sell that digital product. Okay. If I could go in and create a theme for an online store that sells kids' clothes, and I could sell 1,000 of those per year, and it only costs me, initially like 3 to 4 weeks of work, and every year I'm selling 1,000 of those, or even let's say 500, 300 of those per year, and I'm selling it at 80 dollars on Theme Forest. Shit, that's a win for me. That's a $80,000 that's guaranteed every year, right? Or at least from the height start going down. But by that time, I already have other items in my catalog that I could sell. So I'd rather do that than actually dealing with clients. Just got up and stand up in Cali, so this works. Let me see. CodingPhase got me popcorn ready. Let me see. Eric Kemp says, hit my 2-year mark as an email developer, right? End of March. Shout out to you, Joe. He's the real one, man. Congratulations, Eric. I remember when Eric was coming through and he was still, trying to get into the game, trying to become a developer. So congratulations to him, doing his 2-year mark. Now, Eric, let's start moving up. Okay, let's start moving up. Start learning other skills. Focus on Shopify. That's your next stage. Okay, learn front end development through that, and also too, start learning some back end. Let's see some growth. Please do not stay in the same ecosystem of email development for more than 2 years, right? And that's if you want to grow within, as a developer as a whole. Now, if you enjoy email development and you like the marketing side, then now your next step is to grow within that, right? You say, well, I got 2 options, right? And this is a great topic that you brought up, Eric. If you're somebody that's getting into the world of email development, right, and you do a year, right, that year is for you to get some experience, right? You can go in and start learning other skills. If you want to become more of a web developer, software engineer, you go deeper into programming. Now, if you enjoy the process of helping businesses grow, then the next stage is for you to learn more about marketing, okay? Because sometimes we get into this thing and we be like, man, I want to become a web developer. And you learn about email development, but now you get introduced to the world of marketing, and marketing is huge, okay? There's a lot of money in marketing, okay? A lot. And I'm talking about a lot. Like now, your next stage, if you decide to go that route, is how do you go in and start running your own advertisement? How do you go in and start coming up with ideas for campaigns, right? You understand how email works, right? You understand how this helps businesses grow. Now learn the other skills, how to run ads, what's a good hook, what's the right way to do an advertisement online, what type of images or videos actually work, what actually converts, creating landing pages, what's the best way to convert somebody to purchase a product, right? So you can go into that realm too. But if you want to become more of a web developer, software engineer, then, at the 2-year mark, you got to start looking for that exit, because you don't want to stay in a position that it's technically capped, right? Like email development is capped around 120, 140,000, right? So you could have right now, let's say you could do 5 years as an email developer. Guess what? Now you qualify for working, let's say Amazon, which is hiring, or Target, which is hiring for email developers, and they're willing to pay 140 to 160. But that's capped there. Now, if you become a full stack developer, you can now go into the world of Fang or wherever you want to grow as a developer. There's more options and more growth. You get what I'm saying? On that realm. Or you could, like I said, you could go into the realm of marketing, which is infinite. Like literally, like if you're a good marketer, like you could be making millions of dollars. That's the truth. And it's because you can help multiple businesses grow and sell. Like I follow a couple of people on Twitter that all they do is help businesses grow, right? And they have agencies of maybe 2 or 3 employees, helping those businesses run their ads, maybe connecting them to UGC creators, like, user generated content creators, like influencers and things like that, to create ads for those businesses, and they get paid a whole bunch of money. Like, I give you a great example. Let's say you work as a agency and you're running the ads and the campaigns for a company, right? Now that company is making around $1 million in ads. So it's like they're running their ads, and they're basically running about $1 million worth of ads. If you are a good marketer and you're getting them results, you can go in and say, we're going to charge you 10% of whatever you spend in ads, right? I've seen people that have charged 25%, which means that if they spend let's say they spend $1 million, they got to pay that agency $250,000, right? Now, again, that's levels. You got to grow. You got to get to that level. Is it going to happen for everybody? No. There's some people that right now, they're running little bullshit ads for local businesses and make $40,000 right now. And you'll see it like, a local agency in your neighborhood. They're not making that much money, but it's how far you take it. Also, too, what do you know? Because sometimes you could have a skill and you just don't really push it as far as you can. Like, I've seen people that even do like email development, and they find a local company that hired them. They're comfortable there, man. They're working from home. They're paying $60,000, but shit, the job's so easy that they're on Facebook and on Twitter all day. They're, on their little breaks, they're watching porn. Like, they're chilling. They're like, man, I don't even have to do shit, right? I go in, I do my work in 2-3 hours. I have the rest of the day to not do much. Guess what? That $60,000, it's fine for them. They're comfortable there. But if you're somebody that's more ambitious, you're going to want to go in and say, well, let's say I did a year here. I enjoy email development. Let me go and try to work at a major company now. Let me go and try to work for a Zappos. Let me go and try to work for a Walmart. Let me go and try to work for, Trader Joe's or Zillow or any of the big companies that is hiring email developers, right? Urban Outfitters, right? Going to that realm, taking it to the next level, right? And then from there, you go into the bigger companies, Fortune 500 companies, and you could make as much money as you can as an email developer. But it's up to you how far you want to take it, right? Some people, they just go in and stay in the same position. So just keep that in mind, Eric, as you're continuing to grow. Don't get stagnant. Let me see. Shin Dion says, if I didn't complete all my email development courses on CodingPhase Diamond membership, will you approve that I can add CodingPhase? Shin Dion, if I didn't complete all my... Look, if you're taking any of the courses from CodingPhase.com, you can add us on LinkedIn, right? Because this is not saying that you completed our program. What it's saying is you've taken courses here. This is where I've learned some skills from CodingPhase. So you can definitely add CodingPhase to your resume and LinkedIn. Okay. Let me see right through here. Code Life says, my goal is to get into real estate and use the funds from developing to startup. Yes, that's something that a lot of developers get into. Shout out to my boy, Will Motivation. Go find him on YouTube. So I'll show you guys right now who I'm talking about. It's my boy. He's actually from Ohio, the Ohio area. Dude's been killing it for years. I always say this, like when I grow up, I want to be Will Motivation. Dude is chilling. He's always with a couple of baddies. Like, got all the best cars. This dude is never struggling. Like, this dude's been grinding. Okay, always with a baddie, always with a nice car, right? And again, traveling the world, doing what he does. Again, shout out to Shorty, man. I think she's Dominican too. No disrespect, Will. But yeah, my boy's out here. He's been killing it, right? He started as a software engineer, building an application, right? Build a local social network on his college, used the money that he had from there to continue to grow. And he's been killing it ever since, okay? Constantly, buying new properties, new homes, building wealth, okay? When you see him with all of this is not a YouTube influencer that's struggling. This is not, what's this guy's name? Mr. Organic and what's the other one? Freaking Tall Guy Reviews that all their cars got fucking repoed and shit like that. This dude, his cars don't get repoed. This guy has a solid business before he even goes in and decides to start buying a whole bunch of freaking real estate and cars. You get what I'm saying? Just a regular dude. But how he did it, he came from the world of development, right? And this is how you move. You come in, you make your money, and you continue growing from there. You can always code on your own time. I always tell people this. You can always code on your own time, right? Like, I feel like no matter how old I am, I'm always going to be like coding something, building something. That's my own personal thing. That's like, people have hobbies. They play with Legos. They build little things. For me, it's coding. I love to code. I love to build things. So it doesn't matter what I do. I'm always going to be doing this. But guess what? I'm also after a bag. I'm also trying to grow. I'm trying to beat the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to catch old Pokemons, right? And how you do that? You don't do that by keeping yourself at a certain level. You continue to grow as an individual. Also, too, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but every 5-6 years, right, you want to reinvent yourself. You don't want to be doing the same shit you was doing 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I go in and I reinvent myself 5-6 years, every 5-6 years, and jump into something completely different than what I'm doing, right? Like right now, I'm in the world of trading, right? And I'm bringing in some pretty good money. Like I'm so comfortable, bro, with trading right now that I could disappear, like straight up, and I still bring in, at least $400,000-$500,000 a year just for trading. And that's because I don't even go as hard as I really want to, because I feel like I got to put in my time, right? But again, every few years, I reinvent myself. I go in and I jump into something new, and I try to master that. That will help me get to the next level, right? I haven't jumped into deep into like real estate or, maybe like opening up a restaurant, things like that, because I just don't have the time. So with my time, because it's limited, I'm very dedicated to my students on CodingPhase. People be thinking I'll be just chilling here. It's like, nah, I'm constantly looking for jobs for my students, recording courses, whatever is needed for the students to get hired. So that shit takes a lot of my time, right? How long am I going to do it? I don't know. As long as I'm still enjoying it. I enjoy it right now, right? But guess what? Once I have more time, more free time, I'm jumping into other stuff like real estate. You know what I mean? I want to open up a restaurant. I've been wanting to open up a restaurant, but I need to be there. Those are not, how you call it? It's like, those are not things that you jump on and just to let somebody else run. You got to be there. The ball's got to be coming in there, start slapping people up. Like, yo, what's going on? You ain't buy the new produce? What's going on with the salad? You know what I'm saying? Yo, you coming in late to work? What's going on? Right? You have a manager, but now you put pressure on the manager because you're the owner, right? So I need to be actually having more time. So for now, with my limited amount of time, shit, I could get a little 300, 400, $500,000 just on stock trading. You know what I mean? I could do that shit in a couple of hours a day, and I'm killing it. But you have to also start thinking like this. Like if you want to grow, that's what you got to do in overall. Like don't get stuck just coding, because it's not gonna work out in the long term. You're gonna live a regular life. Like if you want to live a regular life that's comfortable, fine. Just stay working for somebody for the rest of your life. When they fire you, you go in and you apply to another job, and you just continue doing that cycle until you retire. For me, I don't like that lifestyle. I rather go in and say, man, I'm good. Like right now, someone comes in and tells me, hey, Joe, we're going to destroy you when I cancel you. I'm good. I don't got to work for like at least 7-8 years. Straight up, no cap. I go in and just, that's it. I give myself $150,000 salary and mind my own business, and I don't got to work for nobody. I don't got to do shit for 8 years. So, that's how you want to go in and you want to set yourself up. And there's people that have done it even way bigger than me, right? Because they focusing on themselves. That's another thing too that I could give you guys from my life experience. I'm the type of person that I care a lot about others, right? If you go in and you say, I want to focus on me, you're going to go even way further than me, right? Like even with CodingPhase, I do so much for my students that in reality, I don't have to do, and I shouldn't do, but I like to help people, right? So I put like my students and my company ahead of the things that can actually get me more money, and help me out more individually. But I don't think like that. I don't know. I enjoy the fact that I can help people. I enjoy the fact that when people come in and be like, yo, Joe, I got my new job. Joe, I've been here for 2 years in this job thanks to you. Yo, Joe, I've been able to take care of my house. I bought a new home. I bought my new car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love seeing that. That shit is better than money, right? So that's one thing. But guys like, shout out to Will Motivation, John Simons, guys like that, they don't go in and stop what they're doing to help others. Not that they don't help other people, but that's not their main thing, helping others, right? Their main thing is just their business. When you go in and you just focus on your business, you go straight to the top because you're giving all of your time to yourself, right? So again, shout out to him. That's why you see him with the Lambos. He's killing it. He's been killing it for years. But he's focusing on his business. He's doing his real estate. He's buying a home in Colombia because, Passport Bros be going over there. So he's doing Airbnbs in Colombia, buying property in Dominican Republic, buying property in Florida. Dude got properties in so many different locations. It's crazy. Shout out to him, man. But you need to focus on your business to actually be able to do that. Let me see. Guild 2 Dev says, moral of the story is JavaScript is nice, but not the only ticket to get some bread. Yes. Louis says, so JavaScript is like the U.S. tourist stereotype where we go outside the U.S. thinking we the best. And yes, exactly. Let me see. Yeah, if it was up to me, I would use Ruby on Rails and some shit like Laravel. Most of my personal projects are usually done with WordPress. Yep. Let me see. You mentioned learning the concepts of languages. Is there any top resources that helped you to master the concepts, like books? Once you learn how to build something, like let's say, like web development is very repetitive. Like it's a CRUD: create, read, update, delete. Once you understand those concepts and understand the process of, there's a server where someone goes in, does a request to the server, something gets sent a response, right? If you understand those basic concepts, then you can do that in any language, right? That's pretty much it. That's all you really need to understand when it comes to web development. It's not like game development. Game development is difficult. I'm telling you guys ahead of time, it's difficult. XR development is difficult. It's not as simple as web development. The web development is so simple and so easy. You could do this shit with your eyes closed. This is why sometimes you see a guy that has like a really good, solid computer science background, and he kills it in web development. He's like, yo, it seems like he knows everything and it's so easy. And it's not that it's so like he's so smart or something. It's that he has the foundation to do other more difficult tasks with programming. And when you come to web development, this shit is so easy. You could do it with your eyes closed. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, web development is very, very easy. Let me see right through here. Donald Trump says, Donald Trump. I saw Dorian using PHP to build his stuff. Yeah, Dorian's grinding. He's learning PHP. I'm surprised that he never learned PHP before, because he has like 5 years in the game as a developer. So I always wonder, I'm like, how the hell you never got into PHP? Like, and that's also too. I'm pretty sure is from being influenced from like other people, like YouTube and shit like that, and like a couple of the dweebs that's out here that they be like, man, PHP, I wouldn't touch PHP and shit, So people think like that, and they fucking spill that bullshit all the time and influence others to never try PHP or even get into that ecosystem. And when you actually do touch PHP, you be like, holy shit, PHP is the shit. Like Laravel is the shit. It's the best framework out there. It used to be Ruby on Rails, but Laravel took it to a whole different level. Like Next.js, Nest.js, what's the other one? Express. None of those frameworks can even be compared to PHP Laravel. Like they can't. Like as far as productivity, you cannot compare it. It's nowhere near. Literally everything that you could think of, you can build with Laravel in a weekend. Straight up. You can't do that with Node.js applications. And the only way that you can do and get to that certain level is when you have gotten so comfortable that you have your own packages, your own sort of framework where you know exactly, hey, I built this application this way, and I'm going to use everything that I already did here, and then I'm going to just go in and create a new application using that previous project. That's the only way. But with Laravel, it's a framework it has everything from Stripe to being able to set up PayPal to being able to do subscriptions, everything you could think of. Like people now are just jumping into the idea of creating software as a service independently. That's why you see the guys, the PHP with the Laravels and with the Lamborghinis and this and that. Like, bro, like that shit is normal in PHP. There's so many developers that make mad money in PHP is ridiculous. Way more than Node.js and Python and all the other languages, because it's an ecosystem that is built for creating applications fast. And you can be a solo developer and come up with an app and you could start getting clients right away. You know what I mean? So yeah, PHP is the shit. Shout out to Dorian for giving it a try and enjoying it. $1 million worth of game, CodingPhase edition. Let me see. Yes, the Sunday mentorship. I'm trying to bring it back. To be honest, I lost the context of all the guys that came in that day. I might go and try to find it because I have so many emails and I can't find the right people. I emailed some people there and then they told me, oh no, I wasn't the one that was there on the meeting. So I got to get in contact with those guys. I only have one of them that I actually found from the meeting from that day. So I got to go in and if you guys are watching me, send me an email. Tell me, hey, Joe, this is this guy from the meeting for the internship so we could start doing it. Let me see. Grim says, graduated CS 8 months ago. I have experience freelancing as a web dev for almost 6 years, mostly doing PHP and JavaScript, but I'm afraid applying for a job thinking my skills are not good enough. Bro, just apply, man. Just apply to the jobs, bro. Apply to the job. Let me see. Optics X Auto Tweaker says, I'm the sole developer for a company responsible for the entire software. I want to outsource my works to someone else, but I'm scared of my outsourced dev undercut me and take my client. I mean, I don't know, man. You gotta set up a system for yourself, right? Like those people cannot talk to your clients directly. You're the manager, you're the one that's gonna be in contact with them. They do the work. So your job will be just managing them. You don't go in. It's like right now, like imagine somebody works at an agency, right? And that person works as an agency and he's the developer, let's say for Huge, the agency, right? And they're working with McDonald's. Do you think that that developer has access to the client, right? The person that's in charge of McDonald's marketing, who's commissioning whatever project it is? Hell no. They don't give them access to that shit. There's a manager, there's a third person, right? That comes in and has contact with those companies. You don't put your workers to, that's like taking your guy that's at the corner and you having him pitching nickels and dimes, and then you're gonna tell him, "Hey, let me introduce you to my connect that's giving me the bricks." That don't sound right. You get what I'm saying? Now again, that's street lingo, but hopefully that shit makes sense. You don't go in and give your connect to nobody, right? So again, if you're gonna outsource somebody some work, go in, outsource, right? Hire somebody for the low, get on Fiverr, get on Upwork, etc. You know, build your little sweatshop, and then from there you handle dealing with the client, and then you talk to the developers after that. You don't go in and say, "Hey, go talk to this client." That's stupid. What you do is you go in and you go in, and if you wanted to like completely be hands off, you hire somebody to be a manager of those developers. So then now you're talking to the manager, and the manager is managing the whole project, and that manager can talk to the client. But you don't go and give the client direct work to the designers or the developers. That's stupid. They're gonna steal your client, of course. Let me see, reading through here. Shout out to my boy Lawrence D Codes. What's going on? One Syrian. Let me see. Coding, what you need to know to land a junior React JavaScript developer. I appreciate the advice. You're trying to get a job as a React developer is very simple. Okay, you need to have experience, bro. We can go around this shit, do circles around it a million times, and talk about how you can get a job as a React developer. I can give you the same shit that everybody's gonna tell you, which is learn React, learn Next.js, learn TypeScript, learn Prisma, learn maybe some what's the name of this thing? I forgot the name. Some other libraries. There's a million libraries in React that people use, right? Maybe some TypeScript, some Tailwind, etc. Right? We could go down that line of just skills to learn. Now, in in 2024, you can't be applying as a React developer unless you have experience. It just doesn't make sense, right? And the reason that is because you're basically showing up to companies that are looking for people who have experience, and you're showing up there saying, "Please give me a chance." This is not an economy of giving chances. This is not an economy where companies have extra money to go in and just hire somebody that is supposed to get $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, right? But we're gonna hire a dude that has never done anything, right? So in reality, what you need to do is you need to start going for other type of roles. You have roles in smaller agencies. You have roles like email development, content management, right? You have roles as a junior front end developer where you can work for maybe a company helping them with building landing pages, etc. You don't need to be going for roles that are not going to give you a job. They just not, right? Not right now, not in this economy, not in the way how things are set up. So in 2024, you need to focus on how can I get a job doing some type of web development. And then from there, I can go in and start preparing myself for React, right? Because front end development has now become more difficult than ever, right? There's more skills that's required, there's more experience that's required, and the title front end developer, we could say finally has some weight to it, right? Back in the days, you could call yourself a front end developer and all you know a little bit of JavaScript and a little bof jQuery. Hey, he's a front end developer. Nowadays, this shit has gotten more difficult and more complex, right? All of these people that want to come in and make front end development harder, right? That want to overly engineer shit to build a freaking page. Guess what? They won, right? They've made this shit more difficult now. So at the end of the day, employers are saying, well, we're gonna want somebody that has experience and has a lot of knowledge, so they can be a good front end developer, right? It's very hard for just a junior developer, just straight out of college, or somebody who is just learning on Udemy or going straight to some random bullshit online school or watching bullshit YouTube tutorials and say, I'm gonna be a React developer. Bro, for every 100,000 person that's on YouTube learning a React tutorial, there's probably 100 of them, 200 of them that actually get a job. What's the number? What's the percentage of that? We could bring it up. What's the percentage of that, right? Bring out the calculator, right? We could say like 250. Let's be nice. 250, right? And out of those 250, we could say 250 times 100 divided by 100,000. That's 0.25% of people that's actually going in and getting hired. I'm telling you guys right now, this is not no cap. This is not, yo, where you getting these numbers from? It's the truth. This is why people keep saying there's no jobs. The shit is so saturated. Is because people are not getting hired. They're not getting hired for the positions that they're studying. It's because companies don't have the budget to just be taking a risk and say, let's mold this person into the type of developer that we want, right? They're looking for somebody that it's already in the game, that already have experience. And when they do want to take the chance to mold somebody, they're not looking at us, the regular folks that's switching careers and learning online. No, they're going for the guys that's coming from major universities that at least it holds some weight. Okay? That's the facts. Now, we could bullshit and think like everything is jolly. Hey, guys, yeah, man, you just study React and there's going to be a great job for you out there. Go ahead. The average person getting a job is like a year and a half to 2 years. The average, right? So that means that you're just there waiting for fucking a dream. Somebody to pull the lottery ticket that you have and say, number 2053. And then you come in and you look at your little ticket. Holy shit, that's me. I got a job now. That's why you constantly see that shit. You don't see everybody like, man, I just got hired. This is not 2018. This is not 2017. This is not 2016. 2016, every day somebody will come in here. Man, I just got hired as a front-end developer. I just got hired as a front-end. Those days is over. You don't see that shit no more. So you have to think about what type of skills you're picking up, because what you need to do is, how can I get my first job? And do web development. Don't focus on specific frameworks or specific job titles. Focus on how can I start getting paid for doing web development. And then from there, build your skills after that. I applied to internships, but nobody's responding. What should I do? First of all, we got to know what type of school you're going to, right? If you're doing internships, if you're a grown-ass man, 30-something years old, you shouldn't be doing no internships, bro. Now, if you're a young kid, just graduated school, or you're still in college, and you want to do some internships, we got to see your track record. What's your grades looking like? What schools you went to, right? Like you got to go into that, right? Because there's a lot of people that is graduating from school, but you're graduating from, it's like me. Imagine me with a computer science from LaGuardia Community College. What weight? What weight does that hold? That doesn't hold no weight. So if I go in and I say, man, I want to apply to Microsoft. I want to do an internship at Microsoft. What weight does my degree as Joe Santos Garcia coming from LaGuardia Community College? You think that shit, like that shit doesn't hold no weight? That shit doesn't open up no doors for me, right? So when it comes to internships, there's more things to it. I don't know how I can help you. I gotta see the full Carfax. Where you coming from, right? What have you done? What type of projects have you built? Do you have a portfolio, right? What's your story like? Some of these internships, they're looking for somebody with a good story. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in your life, right? There's things that you got to come up with so they could say, man, this guy deserves it. This guy deserves this internship. This guy, has been working hard for so many years. Let's go and give him an opportunity. So the internship game in college, there's a lot of politics behind it. So that's something you want to think about. Shout out to my boy Andres Garcia. Que lo que, bro? I should be on that side pretty soon, Fort Lauderdale. I want to go to Fort Lauderdale. I haven't actually traveled through Fort Lauderdale. I got to link up with you when I go over there, man. Let me see. Dev Geo says, catching Joe brings you forward to my day. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Guys, by the way, look, man, as you guys can see, I'm very passionate in helping people, getting people into the game, okay? If you want to get started with learning how to code, guide, if you guys want to support your boy, the best way to support me is not by giving me a super chat. It's not by you giving me a like. It's not by you leaving a comment. You come to CodingPhase, right? You come to CodingPhase.com and you support the platform. Give me a job to work for you, right? Allow me to go in and help you go through this process of you getting hired, getting into the game. Right? You have multiple options that you can do, as far as CodingPhase, and you choose the one that's right for you. For example, right? We go in and we got 2 programs that are great. When you click on the link in the description, you get 20% off. You got the Diamond membership. This gives you access to every single course in CodingPhase.com. Plus, access to me every single Monday on the accountability meetings. Plus, when you send me an email, you get priority. Okay, you want me to review your portfolio, you need help with searching for jobs, what are the right keywords, what do you need? Check out the Diamond membership. Okay, it's worth it. You're gonna get results. Okay, you got the Gold membership. Right now, you're so early on, you don't even know if you want to learn how to code. Let me see if this courses are for me. Get started with the Gold membership. Okay, the Gold membership gives you access to pretty much everything that's in here that doesn't have a diamond on it. If it doesn't have a diamond on it, right, that means you could get that on the Gold membership, okay? For example, like if you look at front-end development, someone that wants to learn front-end development, I give you all of that on the Gold membership, right? You want to go and learn front-end development? For $20, you get access to all those courses on a front-end development path, right? Once you want to take it serious, you want to go and say, hey, I want to get a job, cool. Let's focus on becoming a Diamond member. But take advantage, okay? Another thing that I will say is check out the portfolio blueprint. Sorry, I can't talk. The portfolio blueprint, go check it out. It's literally $20, okay? Went in with my partner. We was able to lower it. We actually got some new features, some new stuff in there, okay? You get access to all of the sections inside of the portfolio blueprint. We are just adding now a section for the full stack development and for the gaming development part of the course. So go check it out, right? You want to take your portfolio from being a meh to a wow. Shit, you got to come to this one, right? It's $20, man. Take advantage. This is how you support the channel, right? I don't want to hear, man, I support the channel. I've been watching you for 20 years. Listen, this is how you're going to support the channel. You're going to come to CodingPhase, and let me go in and help you find your job, or let me improve your portfolio. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for for a super chat. I don't want none of that. I just want to go in and actually help you out and, you know, do a great service to you, and that's it, right? So if you allow me to do that, I'm happy, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as CodingPhase, right? But like I said, you know, I always see people like, man, I love coming and seeing Joe. I love talking to Joe. I love the channels and that. Guys, best way is to support the creator, right? Support the content creator that's in here. As you can see, I'm here trying to help people out. And this is just here on YouTube. This is just me giving you guys advice, talking to you guys, right? The real work gets done on CodingPhase. What you get here, this is just like the little bits of information that we're giving. But the real work and the real courses are on CodingPhase.com. So go in, check out the links in the description, and get started. Let me see, reading through here, what else is in here? J. Cruz says, if you're working as an email developer but want to transition to front-end full stack, do you recommend having a separate portfolio with front-end projects, or just add those to your email developer portfolio? I will say you can create another portfolio, right? Because what you want to do is, let's say, for example, if you have a portfolio with a whole bunch of full stack developer projects or front-end developer projects, and you're trying to apply as an email developer, it's probably going to backfire, right? Because when you apply as an email developer, people's going to say, well, this guy's only going to be here for a few months, then he's going to quit. He's a software engineer. He's a front-end developer. He's going to get bored with this. So they're not going to hire you, because they already say, this guy, he's not interested in this. He's just going to use us for building experience. They're not stupid. Now, in the other way around, if you have a bunch of email jobs or email projects on your portfolio, and you have like one project that's like full stack, those companies is going to say, well, we don't see enough work from him that he can do this type of level of development. You get what I'm saying? So at that point, what you want to do is you want to go in and you want to have a portfolio that's actually catering to the position, right? I cover all of this on the portfolio blueprint. This is why that course right there is so important for you guys to take, because I give you the type of projects you should have for your portfolio. I tell you what a portfolio should look like, what makes a good portfolio, and I give you examples of like a really good portfolio, so you can see how to actually go in and have like a good portfolio that converts and gets you interviews. Okay. Now also too, we go in and give you, you know, the type of templates that you should have. Some of you guys are not designers. Let's be honest, right? Some of you guys have some really shitty portfolios, and it's not your fault. It's because you're not a designer. You're a developer. Your job is to take a design and make it into a reality, right? Make it into a real application. But guess what? The design skills that you have is not up to par with your development skills. So if your projects don't look professional and your portfolio don't look professional, the average person that's going to look at your portfolio is going to say, this guy's not ready. So my advice is always get a template. It gives you time to focus on the thing that's important, which is knowing the skills of web development, instead of you actually going in and trying to become a designer. If you don't have that skill, you could learn it over time. But right now, it's not the time to bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Right now is the time to have everything look perfect, because you're trying to get a job. You're trying to get your first job opportunity. So when you have in your portfolio, you want to have something that looks great, because most people looking at your portfolio, they're not developers. The average person that looks at your portfolio that decides if you even going to get an interview doesn't code. How do they even know if something is legit, if someone is legit? Either by your resume, the university you went to, or how good your projects look. I know it's like super, like you're like, yo, this shit is superficial. And they're like not looking at my code. My code is really good. But the truth is, I have 1,000 applicants. I can't go through everybody's GitHub. I have to look at everyone's work, right? And look at their work history or look at the quality of their work. So if you have a shitty portfolio, you're not going to get an interview, even if you know the skill, right? So for your question, Jay Cruz, if you're going to go in and try to get a front-end developer or full-stack developer, build a different portfolio, right? Build a different portfolio. You could have the same design. If you already got a job with that design already on your portfolio, now you just need to have the right projects because it's just not going to look good when you go in. I'm trying to apply as a full-stack developer, but I got 6 email projects on my portfolio. They're going to look at you like, we don't need you to be doing emails. We need you to build full stack applications, build APIs, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the messaging. Sometimes, you guys need that course. I'm telling you guys, it's not because I built things like, yo, damn, Joe's trying to sell me some shit. No, motherfucker, you need this shit. This is why I built it. I don't go in and build courses unless the people need it or unless there's a market for it, right? Everything that I do is with research, right? I have 7 years doing YouTube, reviewing people's portfolio. And the number one thing that people lack on is their portfolio. I should have done this years ago, right? But the reason why I didn't do it is because I was like, people want to learn how to code. Even this. Right now, this course, this shit should be selling like 100, 200,000 copies, right? But guess how many we sold? We sold about like 8,000 copies so far, which is not bad, right? But this shit should be selling 100,000 copies because there's 100,000 new developers trying to get into the game that have shitty portfolios and have no idea on what's going to actually help them get a job, okay? But people are not interested in this. And this is the type of shit that sometimes I come in here and I try to give you guys game and explain to you guys why it's not important or so important for you guys to just focus on the code, right? For you to get a job, there's more than just coding, guys. There's a whole bunch of different factors. There's the portfolio, which is the first stage, right? The first stage is your portfolio. No one knows you. No one knows who you are. You don't come from a big company. You don't come from a big university, right? You don't even have a degree. What's your first step? Your portfolio. Your portfolio looks good. Guess what? That person's going to say, let me give him a call, right? Next stage comes in the comfortable factor. How comfortable you are to go on the interview on a phone, on a Zoom call, or in person and explain what you can do for that company. How comfortable and confident do you feel about your skills, right? You could be great, but if you come in there like Hunchback Notre Dame and you're looking down and you're scared to answer questions, yeah, you're not getting a job. I don't feel comfortable in you working here, right? So there's a lot of different little things. Then on top of that, once you go through that stage, right? Now you got to outperform the next person that might be at the same level as you. What makes you different than this guy? How much of a hard worker are you, right? And then the last stage is your likability, the human factor. Do I even fucking like you, right? So if you get the first 3 parts right and you do way better than somebody else, even if they like the other person, they're going to give you the job because you are more qualified than that individual. But if you're at the same level as somebody else that's out there applying for the same job, at that point, I'm choosing whoever I like. That's just facts. Yeah. There's this kid that I'm watching now. His name is Jay Hovey, right? And again, I don't want nobody to take this like race or whatever. Race is a factor to everything that you could think of, right? Especially in America. Let's just be honest. Let's not bullshit. Let's not go in and say, no, it's not a factor. It's a factor, right? Now, there's this guy that I'm watching that I like his channel a lot. And there was something in here that was really, really, really good. Right? And they mentioned everything of like why, okay, this one. Roasting the pitch deck I used to raise $5 million. Right?
So you gave me.
Okay. So this is one of the investors for this guy's application. He was able to raise $5 million from them, and he was able to um, basically, get funding for his company. His company is called Stan, and it's a very basic app, right? I signed up for it to see what it was. It's very basic, right? I could have built that shit with my eyes closed, right? Any one of you guys could build the app with your eyes closed. But what I like about this guy is that he's breaking down a lot of things and sharing a lot of things that most people don't share. But one thing that was not mentioned in this video is the human factor. Okay? So they break down all of the different things from his slides that he showed for his application, to get funding, right? On his application, what it is, what it does, etc., right? And they have a great relationship, right? They have a great relationship. And you could tell just from the video that they have a great relationship. This is not normal. I'm telling you guys ahead of time. This is not normal between angel investors, right? Or investors, period, with the founders. The type of relationship that they have, right? He's a kid that went to, I believe, a Stanford business school, right? One of the best business schools in the world, right? He's an influencer. He's quirky. He got a good personality, right? But he knows his shit. Okay, he knows his shit. He knows about business and what works and what doesn't work, and he knows how to explain himself, right? So, but one thing that I noticed as they're breaking down all of these things in here, and they're breaking down why she decided to give him funding, right? The part that they forgot to mention is likability and the human factor, the human touch, right? My name is Jay Hong, right? I'm born in America. Parents is from Hong Kong, etc. Right? Her name could be Jenny Chen. Parents are from Maine, China. Live in the United States, raised here. Guess what? We both went to Stanford University. Oh, sure. We both Asian. We both Chinese. We got Chinese parents. There's a lot of things that we relate to each other, right? You have a great idea. It's not the best idea, but shit, I like you. I'll give you funding and I'll help you out, right? This is what I call the human factor. And this has nothing to do with racism. This has nothing to do with anything. Sometimes, sometimes people will be like, man, I went to the job and they didn't give me the job. It's not because they're racist or anything like that. It's the human factor. If I can't relate to you, right? If I don't have, you could be like the best developer. Now, you got to outshine everybody else. And if you're way better than everybody else that I like, shit, I'll give you the job. But this is the reality of the world. We can't hide this shit, right? If you have your portfolio, that's great. You have your skills, right? At the end of the day, the final boss is, do I like you? Do I relate to you? Do I want to work with you? And if I find someone else that I like and I relate to more, I'm giving him the job. That's just how life is. You get what I'm saying? So why am I bringing this up? Is because you want to go in and go through the first few stages of you trying to get a job. Without the right portfolio, without the right skills, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get an interview. But then comes in the next parts and next things that come with you getting hired, which is, am I likable? Do I sound confident? Do I know my shit? When I go to an interview, I could imagine this guy when he went to pitch his startup, he's in there comfortable. He's a dude that comes from venture capital, right? He's already been in that ecosystem. He comes from Stanford Business School. He knows the lingo, right? When he goes in there, now he got also another Asian lady there that she relates to him. He reminds her of her when she was young, grinding through trying to get some venture capital and doing all this stuff. That's the reality of shit. That's why people like that get certain positions and certain shit. And it's so important for people to understand how this world works. This is not some shit. This is not fucking science and mathematical thing behind it. It's like there's a formula. It's very simple. You got the portfolio, you have your first touch. You got the right skills, you got the second touch. Maybe there's an interview that somebody's gonna go in and do a technical skill. Cool. But then the last part, it's out of your hands. It's the human touch. Do I like you or not? And that's just how it is. It's like that. It doesn't matter from what level it is that you go to, right? From the bottom to the top. It's always going to be like that. This is like why when people go and work at a job, and you don't have to learn this shit to come into the tech industry to understand this. Unless you've been walking around like a fucking Walking Dead, like a zombie with your eyes closed, right? You could learn this shit in any type of position you could think of. Because this happens in every industry and at every single level. People choose their own. And people choose who they like. That's the final factor. And when someone goes in and they choose somebody that they like, or maybe that they don't like somebody, they have to outperform everybody else. And the reason, again, I'm bringing this up is because everybody here is at the same level, right? Guess what? Some people might like you, some people might not like you. But if you present yourself so good that they can't deny you the position, you're gonna get it. Now, if you're coming in at the same level as everybody else, from your portfolio, from your confidence and everything, guess what? Now you're leaving it to the human touch. The human touch is gonna say, I don't know if I like this guy this much. I like this girl. I would like to see her walking around here. I'll give her my job. You know what I mean? I'll give her this job for her to do this. Or I'll give it to this guy. He reminds me of me when I was in high school. Or he reminds me of me 5 years ago when I was grinding through here. You get what I'm saying? So don't leave that shit to the last human touch. You go in and you try to knock out every single piece of it. Check off every list. I got a great portfolio. Cool. I'm confident about my skills. I can explain everything that I can do for a company. I can go and do the technical interviews, right? You cannot mess up in any of those parts, because if you leave it to the human touch, this is the final boss. People's going to choose who they're comfortable with. And again, I'm bringing this up because a lot of times people be acting like this shit is not true. It's not real. It's fucking real. It's not just merits, because there's people that are very talented and have the same skills and are at the same level and don't get promotions, don't get anything, because you leave it to the fucking human touch. Once you leave it to that human touch, they're going to always choose whoever they like and who they can relate to. It has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with prejudice. It has nothing to do with nothing. It's just the same thing for me. I'll be honest, right? If I'm working at a major company and I'm seeing another Dominican coming through, same swag as me, same sauce, coming from the same neighborhoods I'm coming from, I'm choosing him. It's not I'm choosing or this person's race or anything. I'm choosing who I can relate to. Who I would love to have him in the office. Shit, I could finally talk to somebody about this, this beef between Drake and Kendrick. Because I can't talk that shit with Billy. Right? I can't talk that shit to Lil Cindy. Yo, you heard that new diss track from Drake? Sorry, man. You know me, Joe. I'm into Taylor Swift. Conversation's over, right? So if I'm in position, I'm choosing the people that I can relate to. That's just how it is. And they do the same thing. Again, I recommend you guys go check this out, this thing out, because I know for sure if I went in there, I got better ideas than this guy. And no disrespect to him. I got better ideas, better projects, and even just the apps. I was watching this here. I'm like, damn, this shit is fucking, I can't believe they even give him $5 million for this type of app. But one thing that I saw, I'm like, shit, it's the last touch, right? It's the human touch, bro. The human touch was like, yo, if they're going to choose somebody, they're going to choose their own and say, I'll give this guy the opportunity. Now, for me, I got to go in there with a fucking suit and tie. I got to go with fucking a bunch of slides, giving mad information. I got to go beyond that's what I call the Obama effect, where you can't fuck up in any moment from start to finish. You can't drop, the level can't go down a little bit. It's the Obama effect. You got to be perfect for you to actually go and get that position. Right? And that's because, again, this is very important. This is why I think, and again, going to us, right? We need more blacks and Latinos in positions, especially for venture capitalists, because, again, what's the name of this company? This company is called Forerunners. All right? Let's go into investments. Let's see the team. This is how it's gonna be in almost every fucking venture capital company. People that's putting money behind people, right? You're gonna see the same type of individuals at the top. You're always gonna see it. And who we gonna see that's on our own, the only black girl in there? The assistant. Executive assistant. Secretary, basically. And shout out to her. She made it big. She made it to a nice position, right? But it's very important for us to get into positions, because if we leave it to others, the ones that have the final say-so, it's always going to be the human touch. Unless that person comes in and be damn near perfect. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is facts. This is not me making this shit up. I don't have to go to Y Combinator to know how this shit works. I live in the real world. You get what I'm saying? I've worked in fucking corporate. I've worked in retail. I've worked in warehouses. I know how this shit works. If you're not damn near perfect or way better than everybody else, the last fucking boss is, do I even like you? Do I want to do this for you? What makes me want to choose you over this other fucking people that I like and that I enjoy working with? You got to be perfect. You got to come in here and kill it, right? So again, just a little food for thought. Food for thought, just in case you for some reason you don't know what's going on in the world. For some reason you've been working at jobs and you be like, damn, I wonder why I never got this promotion. Motherfucker, people don't like you up there. It's that simple. You don't have somebody that represents you up there. So at the same time, when they go in and they choose and they say, hey, we're gonna choose, who we choose? Bob, Billy, Jermaine, or who's that? Pedro? Should we choose Pedro? He's good, but he's the same way as good as Bob. Yeah, well, I like Bob. Yeah, shit. You know what? Bob is a good guy. You know, he goes from my hometown. He's a great guy. You know, I believe he's a hard worker. So now people are vouching for you. If you don't got nobody up there that vouches for you, you're not getting the fucking job. You're not getting the promotion. I didn't have to go and do this shit in the tech industry to understand that shit happens. You know what I'm saying? I've been in positions where I've done that shit, where I'm like, I'm choosing people because I like them. Like everybody's at the same level, same skills. They all work hard. Guess what? I'm choosing the one that I like. It is what it is. Ain't no way around it. That's real life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people be living in this la la land. Be like, nah, man, it's all by merits. No, it's not, bro. Merits get you in the fucking in the conversation. But then after that, if you're not much better than everybody else, let's see. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Yep. Get okay, guan guan. Let me see. Hey Joe, I got my nephew to join Diamond membership. He's going to start attending accountability meeting on Monday. Hey, put him on, bro. Let's see. Reading through here. Mario Rivas, Joe, I tried signing up for CodingPhase, but you weren't able to make it. Should I reschedule or get back? Get a call back. Yeah, I texted you, Marvin. I texted you, and I don't think you got to pick up. If you want, I could call you after this live stream, and then we could schedule something for later on today. I'm available today, bro. We could hop on a call. But again, guys, for that part of the video, what I'm saying with this is not, again, has nothing to do with race or anything like that, or men, women, and trans, and like it doesn't matter, right? I'm just telling you that you want to go in and have everything as good as possible. Have it as perfect as possible, because if you leave it for the last boss, which is the human touch, right? Who do I like? People's gonna choose their own. People's gonna support who they like, who they have something that they relate to. You get what I'm saying? That's just how it is. That's human nature. Okay, there's no way around it. So the best thing to do is to have everything as much perfect as you can, as perfect as you can, and then from there, that leaves you with, or leaves them with no options to then say, damn, this guy's super qualified. This person has all of the skills, is very good, right? We're going to give him this interview. We're going to give him this job. If you can do that, then you're going to be fine. Okay? But yeah, man, I'm about to get out of here, guys. It's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Joey Wheaton says, thanks, Joe, for the email developer career path. My first job was $50K salary, second job 66, and the third I'm locking down on now will be 75 plus. Congratulations, Joey. Let me know. We add you to the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of people that came through CodingPhase, man, and we haven't added to the Hall of Fame, man. So if you want to send me an email, codingphase@gmail.com. Putting Hall of Fame on the subject, Joey Wheaton. Let me know, man, so we could add you in there. There's a lot of people that's supposed to be there. I just haven't had the time to add everybody. I think we got to add Andres Garcia too in there, man. Yo, I'm gonna call you after. Call me, bro. You got my number. It's the same number. Call me. We got to add my boy Andres Garcia in there. I don't think we have Andres. We had Andres in there, and then I lost the message he had sent me. So we got to add Andres into the Hall of Fame. There's so many people, so many people that have come through CodingPhase.com, guys, and, have gotten hired, have gotten into the game. I fuck around a lot here on YouTube. But this is for me to have fun, for me to answer some questions and make it entertaining at the same time. But on CodingPhase, like, we really put in that work, man. If you want to get started, guys, go check out the Diamond membership. Guys, you're not going to regret it. You're going to be able to go in, get started, get access to all the courses, and you're going to get the results that you came here for. This is not a company that's just like selling you some bullshit and be like, yo, we wash our hands. No, if you come in and you do the work, I'm doing as much work as you to make sure you succeed. Okay? This is what I'm here for, guys. But yeah, man, I'm about to get out of here, guys. You already know it's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Yeah, man. Let me see. Don't you look up to Peter Levels? Yeah, shout out to Peter Levels. But one thing that I noticed over time, and that's not to throw no shade on him, that dude is kind of an asshole. Sometimes what's that quote? They say, never meet your idols. Yeah, Peter Levels is an asshole. Dude is kind of like a piece of shit. Yeah, because over time he has changed because he gets so much clout, he gets so much shit. He's made millions of dollars, and over time, as I've interacted more with him, I realized the dude is just a piece of shit as a human being, and he just thinks he's all that. So I'm the same person broke. I'm the same person with money. And what I've noticed over time is that he's just a piece of shit. He don't really fucks with nobody, especially people that have supported him for years. You know what I mean? Also, too, just his energy. I feel like because he does get attacked a lot, so his energy is always on a defensive mode. But he also just he feels like he knows everything. In reality, he really doesn't know shit. The dude has been lucky enough that he's been at the right place at the right time. People have gravitated to him and given him some love. Someone like myself too. I promoted the shit out of him. Helped him get, a lot of people to sign up to his service and his services. But as I talked more with him and I've interacted with him more on Twitter and just overall, I blocked the dude. I don't talk to that fucking guy. Just because I realized the dude is an asshole. I'm the type of person that if I start getting that energy from you, I start, it kills my perception of you, right? Because everyone that knows me here, I'm like the coolest dude, right? But if I feel that asshole energy from you, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm cutting you off. I don't even want to fucking talk to you. But yeah, Peter Levels, fuck that guy. He was a good inspiration, a good motivation for me. To be honest with you, one of the reasons why it showed me you can do this and have a really cool independent lifestyle. But just over time, as I've gotten to interact with him, I realized he's like an asshole. So at this point, my mood to him is like, fuck that guy. You know what I'm saying? Then you're finna throw hands with Peter. Nah, it's just I don't like people who are assholes. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how popular you are. If you're an asshole, you're a fucking asshole. I'm the same person from the beginning, from when you guys see me in the blue room with a purple, with the fucking, the ghetto curtain till now, millions up. I'm still the same person. That dude over time, how he was when no one knew him to how he is now, that dude, his head is this fucking big. And sometimes that's the danger of being so popular and getting successful. That shit goes to your head. So over time, I'm like, you know what? This is not the same Peter Levels that I used to follow when I used to live in my mom's house or in my own room when I was grinding it out. This is not the same person. Now this dude is like a fucking dude with a big head that, he made a lot of money, but he doesn't get that the reason why he made a lot of money is because of people supported him. You get what I'm saying? It's like you guys. Imagine you guys bump into me or hit me up on Twitter, I don't know, 5 years from now, and I'm answering to you as if I don't even fucking know you. Yo, who's Eric Williams? What the fuck? Or with an attitude of excuse me, you said something to me? It's like, motherfucker, you know me, I'm Eric Williams. I don't made you. You get what I'm saying? I don't fucking support you from the ground up. Now you all fucking is I'm in there jumping into the fucking Maybach man, I don't know about no fucking Eric Williams, man. Fuck out my face. You gonna leave out of there yo, hold on, bro. I'm in there pressing the button on the Rolls Royce on the door, closing automatic doors. Yo, Sorry, man, I don't talk to broke people. You know what I'm saying? If you see me on that energy, you're gonna be like, all right, bro, Joe's a piece of shit now. You know what I mean? Eric Williams bump into me at a restaurant, and Eric's like, yo, Joe, what up, man? It's me, Eric. What's going on, bro? And I'm in there like, huh? Who the fuck is, yo, security, get this man. Whose man's is this? What? At that point, you come out of that restaurant like, yo, this guy's an asshole. Yo, I ain't fucking with him no more. So yeah, so fuck Peter Levels. That's my move against that dude. Like, I ain't got nothing against him, but it's just like his head is too big now. That he's not the same dude that I followed years ago. But anyways, guys, listen, I'm going to see you guys later. It's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Your boy's backing out and did it again one more time. Take care, guys. Peace.